In today's video, we're going to be talking about what silver and gold I believe would be most beneficial to have in preparation of an SHTF situation. We're also going to talk about something else we should be stacking on top of the metals and on top of the preps. And of course, you have 3 days left to join the VIP club if you want to get entered into my September giveaway. Link in the description. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today I wanted to talk about silver and gold. I also wanted to talk about how the precious metals could be incredibly useful during different types of SHTF situations, along with how they could potentially not be very useful during other types of SHTF situations. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Also subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos, and get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We got the brand new Lone Wolf collection out now. Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance. It's more than appreciated. But today is Saturday, August 28th, 2021. Believe it or not, it's still Thursday, the 26th, as I'm filming the video, so I don't know what the spot price of silver or gold are going to be by the time the video drops. So head on down to the comments and let me know the date and time you're viewing the video and what the current spot price is for you. I'm always curious. But today, as I'm filming the video, is still Thursday. And if you've been paying attention to the news, if you've been paying attention to what's going on in the world, you'll know that today, Thursday, we lost 12 service members. And we hadn't lost any service members in Afghanistan in the last 18 months. But today alone, we lost 12 because of everything going on right now. 11 of which were Marines, and 1 was a Navy medic, and at least 15 more were injured. So I just wanted to take a moment and say rest in peace to the heroes that we lost, and prayers for those that were wounded. This partially inspired today's video, believe it or not, because everything that's been going on for the last week and a half, maybe 2-3 weeks at this point, but especially over the last week and a half, it's been growing bigger and bigger and worse and worse. And after today, it's really not looking too good. After today, I'm starting to believe, and keep in mind this is coming from the perspective of somebody who considers himself to be a delusional optimist, and I'm also someone that's personally against fear-mongering. And so this is coming from me. It seems like there's a good chance that this is going to get far, far, far worse. So I figured it would probably be ideal to make a video that's a little bit more geared towards prepping, while not steering too far away from silver and gold. I figured it was appropriate. I figured it made the most sense. So without any further ado, here we go. Silver and gold are a form of financial preparation. I'm pretty sure we can all agree on that. I'm pretty sure most of us are on the same page. I got quite a bit of silver on screen. I have some gold over here next to me. Financial preparation. Now, usually people think of it as a way of hedging against inflation. That's how I see it. To me, it's just a smarter version of a savings account, a physical at-home savings account, which I personally believe, in my opinion, from my perspective, stands a far better chance of combating inflation than the interest rates that they offer you at the bank, 0.001% or whatever it is. Laughable. I think that's how most people see the silver and the gold. But it's also important to remember that there are quite a few people out there who truly believe that the silver and gold would be arguably the most important thing you could have in your possession during an SHTF situation. For those of you who do not know, it stands for stuff hitting the fan. Disastrous situations. Now, if you ask 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. What is SHTF? What does it mean? What's it going to look like? What's going to happen? If you ask 10 different people, you're going to get 10 different answers. Somebody might say it's a solar flare. Somebody might say it's an attack on the power grid. Somebody might say it's a complete and total World War III. Somebody else might say that it's a natural disaster, like a hurricane coming through, like a Category 5 hurricane. Somebody else might say it's this. Somebody else might say it's that. Somebody else might say it's the collapse of the dollar bill. It could mean anything. But it all comes down to being a terrible, horrible, catastrophic disaster that changes the way we live our lives. A lot of people said that 2020 was SHTF, and I'm sure it was to some people. So how can the silver and gold play a role during some type of crazy state of emergency? Let's just say, let's run with the dollar bill collapsing. Now, I personally do not believe it's going to collapse, per se. I personally don't believe that it's just going to fall on its face and become obsolete overnight. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be slowly but surely dwindled away, strategically, slowly and steadily, so most people don't even notice. That's my stance on that. I don't think it's just going to decimate out of nowhere. But let's just say it does. What would we turn to if all of a sudden our currency was just wiped out entirely? A lot of people truly, genuinely, wholeheartedly believe that we would all turn to silver and gold. I personally do not believe so. The reason I say that is because the overwhelming majority of people have zero idea what precious metals even are. The vast majority of people on the planet are not stacking silver and gold. And there's a reason for that. There's actually two reasons for that. Number one, if they've heard about precious metals and chose not to stack, it's probably because they don't understand. Maybe it wasn't explained to them properly. Maybe they didn't take the time to do research. Maybe they're just not worried about it. So the first reason is that they just simply don't understand the importance of stacking or how vital it can be. The second reason is that they've never heard of it before. I mean, think about it. Before you started stacking silver, did you know what silver was? I didn't. I was introduced to silver a couple years back, and before that day, I had never heard of it before. It was like a whole new world. I didn't know that there were silver coins, rounds, and bars that people were hoarding for wealth preservation purposes. I had no idea. I found out my friend was stacking silver, and I'm like, what are you, a friggin' pirate? I had no clue. It's the first I ever heard about it before. You can't do something that you don't know exists. Similar to my water purification unit that I talk about all the time. I've had it for a couple of years, and I've been saying that it's hands down 1,000% the greatest purchase I've ever made in my life, and I'm not even sponsored by the company. But guess what? Before I knew that the company existed, I didn't buy it. Why didn't I buy it? Because I didn't know it was a thing. You can't buy something that you don't know exists. You can't do something that you don't know is even possible to do. And that right there is, I would say, probably 99% of people in the world. 99% of the human race has no clue. Completely clueless. No idea. And if you don't believe me, go to Walmart, tap on 100 different people's shoulders and say, hey, you stacking any silver or gold? Now, if they are, they'll probably say no, because that's a weird thing to ask, so scratch that. But ask them if they know what the spot price of gold is. Number one, they'll have no idea. And two, they'll probably ask you what spot price even means. People have no idea. So how would all of a sudden the entire human race switch from the US dollar to silver and gold in the blink of an eye if our currency were to collapse? I personally don't think that's possible. I don't think that would ever, ever, ever happen. Because no one would know what it is. But it can make absolute sense if you have a prepping community. If you're taking the time now, present day, today, this week, this month, if you're taking the time now to build yourself a community, a tight-knit small circle of people. Maybe you all have a different role to play. Maybe there's 12 of you, and each of you brings something different to the table, and you all understand the precious metals. I think silver and gold could really come in handy that way. Because guess what? In a disastrous situation, if you have a tight-knit small circle, community of people all on the same page, all pitching in, all pulling their own weight and helping in a different way, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think you would really need anything or anyone else. If you have precious metals in your small community that you're using as money, maybe one of you has some experience in the medical field. That would really come in handy if somebody were to get sick or somebody were to get hurt. Maybe somebody did construction, so they know how to build properly. Maybe someone else was a cook. They can take care of a lot of the cooking, and maybe they do a little bit of gardening as well. Maybe you're all playing a different role, and you're all on the same page when it comes to silver and gold. If that's the case, what I believe would be the greatest type of coin rounder bar to have in your possession would be this right here. 90% junk constitutional silver. Because this stuff right here, or really silver in general, it can go for the 5-ounce bars, the 10-ounce bars, it can go for really anything, kilo bars. I think silver would really come in handy for small transactions. I think silver would come in handy if you were to pay somebody for a product, a service, for food, for water purification, for medical supplies, for other types of tools and equipment, for their time. I think silver would be excellent for that right there. For larger purchases, I think that's where gold could come in handy. Now, it's also important to remember, what in the world is spot price going to be if the dollar bill were to collapse? Because the spot price at the moment is measured in US dollars. So what if the dollar were to just go away and doesn't get replaced with a new type of currency? Keep in mind, a majority of this video, I'm just playing devil's advocate, and I'm just using hypothetical scenarios and arbitrary numbers and whatnot. That's what I'm doing just for the sake of the video. This is just for conversation. The overwhelming majority of this video, I personally do not believe is even going to happen. I'm not one of those hardcore doomsday preppers. This is just something to talk about, so just keep that in mind. So if the dollar bill were to go away, what in the world would spot price be? Spot price wouldn't be $25 if dollar ceased to exist. So an ounce of silver at that point would legitimately be viewed as an ounce of silver. You would measure something in troy ounces rather than in dollars. But we would all have to come to an agreement on how much you can buy with a troy ounce of silver or a troy ounce of gold. See, I can hand somebody a kilo bar of gold, and if they don't know what it is, in their eyes and in their mind, it's worthless. It means nothing. It's pointless. It's a paperweight that they don't even have papers for. They wouldn't even want it. It's a door stopper. What do I need that for? That's too heavy. Get that away from me. I can't fit that in my pocket. If they don't understand what it is, and if they don't understand the value, then how would it make sense? But in a small community, a tight-knit circle of people, and maybe other communities in the area as well. Maybe there are multiple circles, multiple communities that are all on the same page as one another, which would be pretty helpful. Gold at that point could potentially be used to maybe buy a vehicle, buy land, buy a house, potentially. There's a million different ways that this can go. But there's something else that I think we should be stacking. And I'm not talking about the silver and the gold. And I'm not talking about the prepping gear, the equipment. I'm not talking about methods of self-defense. I'm not talking about food supply. I'm not talking about tools. I'm not talking about anything like that. There's something in addition to the stack and in addition to the preps that we should be building up as well, which is useful skills. I made a video talking about this once before. It's so unbelievably important to be able to bring something of value to the table. It's vital, it's crucial, it's mandatory, especially in an emergency situation. Especially when times get tough. If you thought 2020 was tough, and if you think 2021 is tough, God only knows what's going to happen in 2022. Could get better by then. Could get worse. Anything could happen. Last year proved that to me. There's a lot of stuff in the world that I never, in my wildest dreams, would have thought would even be possible. And guess what? Every last one of them happened last year alone. And if it didn't happen last year, it happened this year. Couldn't believe it. And that was proof enough to me that anything is possible. So if somebody makes a suggestion that, hey, this could potentially happen, it's something to consider. It's something to at least semi-prepare for. Which is why I think it's important to have more than just your own personal stockpile of metals and other types of tools and equipment and stuff like that. You have to be able to trade with people. What if they don't understand the silver and the gold? If they don't understand it, they're not going to want it. What if you're trying to buy something off of them and they need something in return? Which is why I listed off a couple of skills before. Having experience in the medical field could come in handy if somebody gets hurt or somebody gets sick. Having experience as potentially a construction worker, a bricklayer potentially, somebody that actually understands and knows how to properly build something and not just some makeshift structure that's going to cave in. Maybe somebody that has experience gardening or farming or cooking. These are just a couple of examples of different skills that could really be important during an emergency situation. You can trade your skills for money. It's what you go to work and do every day anyway. You're either trading your skills or you're trading your time. Or both. Same thing. Or, let's just say, you have the money, but you neglected to take care of a couple other prepping areas, and maybe you're running low on something. You can trade your skills for whatever you need. See, it's important to remember there's a couple of different ways of preparing. Actually, there's a lot of different ways of preparing. And I'm a big believer in having a multifaceted preparation system set in place for yourself, for your future, for your family, and potentially for your community of like-minded individuals. It's a big part of why I make some of these videos. This is an online community right here. That's not exactly what I was talking about when I said building yourself a community. I'm talking about physical, in-person people that you know. But right here online, this is an online community. It's a place to bounce ideas off of one another. It's a place to teach those who are willing to learn and learn from those who are willing to teach. And guess what? That could really pay off. But moving away from all of that, I think it's important to take some of these things into consideration. I think it's important to have the conversations that are not comfortable to have. I think it's important to get yourself mentally prepared for making tough decisions. I think people should be ready to do without certain things, certain luxuries. I think a lot of people have to be prepared for that. And that's what DYDSS is all about. Physical, mental, financial preparation. You got to be ready. You got to be prepared. There's a quote that goes, "Stay ready so you don't got to get ready." And that's what I like to live by. A good example of what happened last year, without even getting into detail about it, because we all know, when 2020 happened, was I ready for that? Did I think everything that took place last year was going to happen? Absolutely not. There's not a person on the planet that expected that. There's not one single person out there watching this video right now saying, "Oh yeah, I was ready." No. 2020 caught us all off guard, some more than others, some in different ways than others. And if you're not willing to admit that, then I don't believe you. But point being is that I had spent late 2017, early 2018, or all of 2018, all of 2019, and the very beginning of 2020 preparing myself. Because for those couple of years, I had a feeling that something was going to happen. I didn't know what it was going to be. I didn't know how soon it was going to happen, but I had a feeling something was going to happen eventually. It caught me off guard because I didn't expect it to come so soon, but guess what? Even though I wasn't fully prepared to take on every single situation that popped up last year, I was somewhat prepared. I was semi-prepared because I had spent those years stocking up on food. I got myself a method of water purification. I spent all of those years stacking silver and gold. I got tons of prepping supplies and tools and all types of equipment that I knew would come in handy if something were to go down. And guess what? Even though I wasn't living large over here when everything came crumbling down, but guess what? I did okay. I did all right. I wasn't all that concerned. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Number one, if the dollar bill were to just completely collapse, fall on its face, and become obsolete overnight, do you really, genuinely, truly, wholeheartedly believe that everyone in the world is just going to switch on over to precious metals? Because I got to be honest with you, I personally do not believe that would happen. I do not believe it will happen. I don't even believe that that's possible. I believe there are some people who do understand precious metals, and I think they'll utilize them, but the overwhelming majority who have no idea as it is, I don't see it happening. And also, too, what do you think is an important skill that should be learned, something that can be brought to the table if you need to barter and trade, something other than your tools, something other than your prep, something other than your silver and gold? What is a useful skill a person could bring to the table aside from having stacked the precious metals? And if anybody's interested in joining the Precious Metals VIP Club, it's where I can do things on my own terms, not on YouTube's terms, my terms. I'm hosting privately held live streams. They're smaller and easier to manage. I'm posting exclusive VIP-only adventure vlogs. I also do giveaways, discounts, personalized promo codes, shoutouts, deal alerts when silver and gold is on sale on a variety of different websites. And of course, you can watch all of my videos early and commercial free. Come join the Precious Metals VIP Club. It'll be the first link in the description. You're invited. I'd be happy to have you. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, please hit that like button. If you guys like me, make sure to hit that subscribe button like a Karen hits a bus window. Also subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. A bunch of brand new videos over there. Go check them out. The link will be in the description. Trying really hard to hit 3,000 subscribers. We just hit 2,000, and I appreciate that. And if you want to help support the channel in the biggest possible way, please consider getting yourself some DYDSS merchandise. Of course, we have some precious metal themed t-shirts and hoodies.
which are up for grabs, along with a ton of other products. T-shirts, hoodies, even stickers, many of which are raising funds and awareness for different charity organizations, such as the recently released Kraken Stackin' t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, and coffee mug, inspired by the beautiful 2-ounce silver Kraken coin, which, by the way, is helping us raise a little bit of funds and awareness for ocean cleanup charity organizations.
And of course, the brand new DYDSS Lone Wolf t-shirt, hoodie, sticker, coffee mug, and long sleeve tee, available in 4 different colors, and a portion of the proceeds are going towards the International Wolf Center.
Any and all merchandise can be found by clicking the first link in the description section down below. Thank you in advance, it's more than appreciated. And I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know once again,
what are your thoughts on everything shared in today's video? What do you think is an important skill to have? What type of skills do you think would be important for people who are prepping for really any type of disastrous situation? And when it comes to the silver and the gold, of course you'll be able to barter with silver coins, rounds, and bars, and gold as well. Of course you'll be able to make transactions with real, true, honest money. But do you believe that the 99% of people who don't understand precious metals will somehow magically form an understanding of precious metals when they just went their entire lives with silver and gold not even crossing their mind? Do you foresee that happening? Or is silver and gold more of just a store of value for you rather than something that you're planning on bartering and trading with the average Joe should something go down? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow, and remember, don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.